Now, earlier this year, the good people from BuzzFeed, the news website, paid us a visit, and we were tickled pink when we heard that they wanted to write about this week. This is how they described us. That strange TV politics show, run by a part-time team, well, they got that bit right, endlessly and inexplicably popular. What makes it worse is that every word is true. So we decided to return the favour. We stripped BuzzFeed's deputy editor, Waterson, of his technology, sent him back in time for a Victorian Christmas, this week style, at the Museum of London. Here is his roundup of the week. Strange TV politics show indeed.
You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I am telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
It's been a fairly quiet few days at Westminster as MPs wind up for their Christmas break. But no rest for me. At the BuzzFeed Christmas Grotto, we love our lists. And we've been busier than ever trying to spread some festive cheer.
He's making a list, he's checking it twice. He's gonna find out who's naughty or nice.
My first list is from a boy called Nick. Dear BuzzFeed Santa, I've had a really unfortunate year and I'm worried that no one likes me. I'd really like 3 things. 1, make everyone think that I wrote the autumn statement. 2, everyone to think that I didn't write the autumn statement. And 3, make everyone think that I'm not a posh Tory. P.S. I've been a really good boy. Well, Nick, let's see what we can do.
I just think the Conservatives are kidding themselves and seeking to kid British voters if they're claiming that it is possible to balance the books, deliver unfunded tax cuts, shrink the state and support public services in the way that everybody wants. Though it just doesn't add up.
Nick Clegg is desperate to distance himself from his coalition colleagues, both politically and physically. Now, Nick, I've got a list for you. 1, why don't you go down to Cornwall? It's much nicer there than Westminster, and you've got a lot of marginal seats that you need to protect. 2, why not make a New Year's resolution to split up with those big boys who are bullying you? It's about time you made the break. And 3, don't worry about the students, they're not coming back. But I've got another letter here from a girl called Harriet. And oh no, she wants the exact opposite of Nick. Dear BuzzFeed Santa, for Christmas I would like 1, to make Nick look like a Tory. 2, to make Nick look like a Tory. 3, make Nick look like a Tory.
And it's always the same with this Deputy Prime Minister. He talks the talk, but he walks through the lobby with the Tories. He breathes against them, but he always votes with them.
Although HARMAN's attacks on gender equality failed to reach their target, in essence, that wasn't the point. She just wants to keep on tarnishing the Lib Dems by associating with the Conservative brand. How's this for a list? 1, convince everyone that David Cameron is an evil man who wants to privatise the NHS. 2, convince them that Nick Clegg is just as bad and wants the same. 3, convince them that voting Labour is the only way to stop these 2 coalition parties. Oh, hang on. That's Ed Miliband's list. Oh well, at least you remember the deficit this time.
So I can announce our first pledge of the general election campaign. We will build a strong economic foundation and balance the books. We will cut the deficit every year while securing the future of the National Health Service. And none of our manifesto commitments will require additional borrowing.
Sometimes it's incredibly hard to work out who's been naughty and who's been nice. Even when you're doing good charitable works, sometimes it just comes out all wrong.
We've lost a lot of our cooking skills, and poor people don't know how to cook. And I mean, I had a large bowl of porridge today, it cost 4p. A large bowl of sugary cereals will cost 25p.
Baroness JENKIN apologised for that remark, saying she meant to say that society had lost its ability to cook. Now, she spent months of her life working on that report into food poverty, which showed that the number of food banks had risen from a few to a few hundred within the last decade. Some would say in part due to the government's welfare reforms. Pint, please, barman. Now, some just want more and more, like this list from a boy called Nigel. Now, he's already had a lot this year, but he's writing, Dear BuzzFeed Santa, for Christmas I would like 1. An unlimited supply of cigarettes. 2. Another defection. You've had 2 of those already, Nigel. 3. No more embarrassing gaffes by UKIP politicians. P.S. Wish I could be there, but I've been stuck in the M4 in traffic. Honestly, some people, the requests you get in this job...
Well, it took me 6 hours and 15 minutes in the car to get here. It should have taken 3.5 to 4. That has nothing to do with professionalism. What it does have to do with is a country in which the population is going through the roof, chiefly because of open-door immigration and the fact the M4 is not as navigable as it used to be.
Oh, Nigel, you're the gift that keeps on giving. Now, my final letter is from Nigel from Amber Valley in Derbyshire. Now, he says, Dear BuzzFeed Santa, sometimes I find politics really boring, and I need something to keep me busy during all those boring select committees. Finally, an easy request. Unlike this one from Michael, how many Hornby sets does one man need? Forget Christmas, I've got a high score on Candy Crush to beat.
Jim Waterson there proving even you media types